Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 66. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
The conversation continues in the new year, 2019. Oh, man, I'm happy to be in this new year. I don't know about you. I guess I shouldn't be, because there's a lot going on that should be bringing me dismay here in the States. But it's going to be a fun time. We're going to take a swim with the king of the sea, Aquaman, today.
All right.
So that'll be fun. But first, let's get into a little bit of entertainment news. Hannah. We talked about this a while ago, a long time ago. You remember that movie? Mm-hmm. Little girl in the snow and all that stuff. Yep. Amazon Prime is making a TV show from that story. They put out a nice little teaser of her in the crib as a baby, along with some other babies, and then all of a sudden, she gets taken, you know. Mm-hmm. And so they're gonna go back prequel series.
A prequel.
Yeah, and how she got to where she was in that movie. What are you thinking? The movie was actually decent.
Yeah, I didn't mind the movie.
Yeah,
but I don't really know how else to put that one.
Yeah, prequels are hard.
It's a prequel. I mean, automatically you already know what's going to happen. So It takes away the fun of not knowing, which is kind of the point sometimes. So I don't know.
Agreed, 100%.
Maybe if it was like a different girl or a different situation or that was similar or something, so that we didn't know exactly what was going to happen.
Jana.
Yeah, there you go.
And let's see here. A little bit more. Phone close, sorry. Edit this out. Oh, I did want to hit on Golden Globes because Into the Spider-Verse won Best Animated Picture over some big dogs.
Yep.
The Incredibles 2, Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet. Like, those are heavy hitters. And little old Spider-Man came in.
Little old Spider-Man. Spider-Man is huge. What are you talking about?
Spider-Man is huge, but like as far as the kids category goes, like normally kids movies do better than, I guess, would you consider Into Spider-Verse a kid movie? I wouldn't. It's got some very adult
I think it was probably meant to be, but all the kid movies are always adding stuff that adults like as well. But I loved it. So I didn't think it was. I didn't feel kiddie.
The Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph are like, boom, we're a kid market, and normally those are like, no matter what's out this weekend, they're gonna win because you got the kids taking their adults, you know. But and granted, Spider-Man is, a big deal. But I was just going off of that fact, at box office wise. But yeah, I mean, I guess a good story wins overall.
Yeah,
so hats off to Into the Spider-Verse, and rumor has it that it may be getting a TV show spinoff, which I wouldn't be too upset about that.
I'd rather see more movies than I would.
That's already confirmed.
Okay.
It's going to be, the next one's going to focus on Spider-Gwen.
Cool. I kind of saw that one coming.
Yeah.
Her costume was the only one that didn't really get changed from like what it looks like in the comic.
Yeah, hers is exact comic.
So I guess they really liked hers.
But yeah, that movie was kick ass. My favorite was Drunken Beat Down Peter. He was my favorite character in that movie. But yeah, and last but not least, before we get into trailers, Aquaman, not only the king of the seas, but the king of the box office.
Yeah, looks like it.
That sumbitch is swimming into the hearts of every American, Eurasian, Asian, European, all across the world. Now the highest grossing DC extended universe movie, as they say, of all time. God damn. I guess. I don't know. We'll get into that more. But all that movie news can be found on GoWatchMovie.com in more detail. Check that out. But that'll bring us to trailers.
Yay.
You first or me, sir?
Sure, I'll go.
All right.
Mine's Us. Oh. I don't know if you saw that one or not, but that looks pretty intense.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people are going to maybe see some similarities in other movies or whatever, like they did with the last one, and try to be like, oh, it's just that, but different and blacker or something. But no, I don't think so. I mean, I think this is really I think he's going to do it again. I mean, it looks pretty sweet. And I guess I should explain it a little bit instead of just gushing about it. Basically, I guess these people go on a little vacation at the beach or something, and then they meet some weird dude or something, and then all of a sudden,
bloody dude on the beach.
Yeah, there's like a bloody dude on the beach. Who would have thought? And then all of a sudden, there's like copies of them start showing up, and it's like outside their door, and
what's truly inside of them, the way he described it, what's truly inside of all of us.
It looks good. So check that trailer out if you haven't already seen it, and let us know what you think.
Yeah, people have been like since that first poster came out and all that stuff, people have been like trying to find deeper meanings into it. Like they're like, oh, it's get out of the US. Come on, that's a stretch. Mine is gonna be the Netflix John Wick Polar. Don't know if you saw this trailer, sir. Mads Mikkelsen, aka Hannibal, aka the bad guy from Casino Royale, is a retired assassin, and he just wants to live his life out. But it turns out that the agency he used to kill for has an insurance policy, like $8 million, and he can get it. Or if any other assassin kills him, they get it. But he just so happens to be the best assassin that ever lived. And now he has to defend himself and his little innocent neighbor as other crazy kind of outlandish assassins come to hunt him down and kill him. It looks pretty cool. And I've always liked that actor. He's pretty damn good. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, check that one out. But it looks very John Wickish. And it's based off a graphic novel, I think, of the same name, Polar. But still, it's hard to separate those.
Right. It's going to be similar. Like similar stuff's going to come out whenever there's something popular. So
yeah.
Understandable.
But yeah, that's Polar. And, well, here we go.
Shall we?
Splash. We're going down to Atlantis. Aquaman 2018 DC universe film. Jason Momoa. You got William Dafoe. You got Amber Heard. James Wan directed. I did that without looking at my phone. I'm proud of myself.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Do you I feel like you have some things to say about this. Do you think we should have gotten Aquaman before we got him in the Justice League?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially with what they did. They did try and briefly describe a way. That happened.
Yeah.
The way you beat, we need your help.
They did mention that in the movie,
but so Bruce in Office is Aquaman. If you've seen King Arthur, you've seen this.
And the story is not exactly the most original thing for you.
No, but
when are they ever?
I mean, he's, I guess, apparently been secretly training with William Dafoe's character this whole time. That's how he's so good and knows how to use his Atlantean skills. I did find his, start from mother and father. His mother's from the sea. His dad's a land guy, a lighthouse watcher. And she comes up on the shore to escape.
Arranged marriage, wasn't it?
Arranged marriage, yeah. But still shotgun weddings. You gotta it's trident weddings. There we go. But yeah, and then they fall in love. They have him, but she's found, and he has to escape. Then everyone knows the Aquaman story. He gets trained. He comes back, and he's protector of the sea, mostly. I mean, and on the land when they need him, I guess. But yeah, in this instance, he had never been to Atlantis and doesn't really know because kind of Justice League kind of made it seem like he had kind of already been doing that Atlantis thing, but it was vague about it. But
it was vague, but I guess they were able to write around that.
Yeah,
point.
But so his brother wants to destroy land, basically the land dwellers, us. And then the action ensues. Yeah.
And it starts out fairly quickly. I mean, when the queen is, living with the lighthouse keeper, I guess he's called, and then the Atlanteans break in. They collect space Atlanteans or something. Yeah. It was kind of, I guess that's fine or whatever. But she wasn't wearing a space. But I guess the highborn
royal blood,
the highborn ones don't need to.
So let's jump ahead to that, because this is technically in the past, so we're not spoiling any other movie. Atlantean history. Oh my gosh. Biggest load of shit I've ever seen. So these people got so advanced on land first. Atlantis was on land first, but they got so advanced that they doomed themselves because they went too far and wanted more, which I get. That's human nature. Atlantean or not, they're still humans at that point. But let's gamma ray it. As they're sinking into the ocean, their technology is so evolved or so advanced that it evolves them.
Or de-evolves them.
And de-evolves them, depending on class, I'm assuming.
I don't know how it decided. Some stayed human looking, and then others became like giant crab creatures.
Some became mer people.
Or
Like, are you what? Did that not confuse you at all?
It was a little hard to swallow, but it's a comic book movie.
And then, let me go, because it doesn't stop there. The city gets evolved under there, and it evolves them all to breathe underwater, of course, and gives them the thick skin of Atlanteans. What kind of fucking technology was this? And then, as we previously stated, so royal bloods, somehow this evolutionary trait, can now breathe in both land and water, but everyone else, fuck you, you need a fishbowl on your head.
Right. I would assume he would be able to, just because he's half, land, he's land dweller and half Atlantean.
He makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. The other ones, not so much.
Evolution did it. No. But then, even more so, starting this whole King Arthur story, the king, the ruler of Atlantis, is so ashamed at his lust for power, he decides to exile himself. Fucked up idea. Exile, I must go. And he just goes and finds himself a throne. He builds himself a throne out in the middle of nowhere, away from everybody, and sits there holding his super powered trident that he had created for himself until he dies.
Gets a giant kraken thing that watch over him.
Somehow, he still has the Aquaman powers. He can talk to fish,
and he's the only one besides Aquaman who's had that power.
So let's dive into that. This old motherfucker is like, I'm exiling myself. You know what? I just came down here, but I just so happened to pass a giant kraken. And you know what? I'm going to use that fucking kraken for my protection. So
it's a kraken.
So you follow me, kraken? Fuck your family. Fuck what you're doing. You're coming with me. You're going to watch over me for the next however until a worthy person, aka someone you can understand, because all those other poor souls are like, fuck, what the fuck? Stop, please, no. Why? I don't even want it.
I don't understand how the mom said that she went in, and the queen said she went in there many times to try to get it and live. And while there's like a pile of bones of all these great warriors.
And my theory on that is, like, I think the whole time, like, they thought they were, how they were executing people by throwing them into the abyss. I think some of those people were like making it through there. They just kind of wandered into that area like, oh fuck, there's a trident. And then next thing you know, the fucking kraken eats But anyway, he just sits there and dies holding the trident. I don't know.
You didn't like that point in the story?
Like if he would have fucking drove into the ground or something, or put an enchantment, some kind of super technology, and then his cat tomb is there, maybe, or buried with it in the tomb. But and I've seen that before. There's been other stuff where, like, fucking.
But that was very Conan-y.
Raiders of the Lost, not Raiders of the Lost, Temple of Doom, no. Last Crusade.
Okay.
The knight in there, he's doing the same thing, but it's just.
Isn't that how Conan finds his sword? Isn't it like Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan? Dude's just he's just like sitting there in his throne, he's holding a sword, and then he takes it.
You're right.
And then he bangs it against the rocks, so all the
dust and
stuff gets off of there, and it's perfect after that.
But don't compare that fish to Conan. Don't do it, Robert. You thought you were rid of me in 2019. Sorry.
He's back. Like I was saying, the action starts off right away. I thought the scene with the Queen fighting those guys was pretty impressive. I felt like it was like they were not necessarily Matrix-y, but it kind of felt like they were doing something sort of kind of like that, but then moving not just that one little shot. They were just like all connected and, kind of melded together pretty well, I think, throughout the entire fight.
I did, the rotating camera that
I mean, so you can see the technique, but I think they used it fairly well for that. Not over the top. It wasn't like bullet time or anything. There wasn't any like weird, she watches.
I'm glad that died.
Yeah. It may come back one day. We don't know. Yeah. Some nostalgic thing will reinvent it.
My thing with her is they fucking pull a Little Mermaid when she first shows up. Mm-hmm. But like they're this super technological advanced place. They know about us. They know we exist. Mm-hmm. So why does she go in there acting like she had never seen anything
television before and then into television? I don't know. Maybe it's been a while since they peeked at us.
Contact with us?
Yeah, and so we were doing. I don't know.
But that fight scene was badass. And they speed up time by I like the showing the dog as a puppy first, and then
So I mean, it started out really well.
Yeah,
I really don't feel like this necessarily felt the movie as a whole felt like a superhero movie though. I felt like it was like this action adventure, not even really an Indiana Jones.
Sahara
is a perfect example. That's what it kind of felt like. It felt like that movie with just superheroes in it, as opposed to a superhero film.
Let me make this podcast better by saying awesome. Because a couple times he said that. I'm just gonna throw it in randomly. But yeah, I agree with you.
Didn't it feel? And then sometimes it felt like a romantic comedy almost in certain parts.
It was like Romancing the Stone, Sahara, like all those very campy, tropey.
Yep, very. There's a couple scenes in there that I feel like they taped after the fact and then just spliced them in because I hated them. Like, I don't know if you experienced that, like the desert scene.
Oh, I hated it.
It was super
quirky little music playing.
The music was ridiculous, and it felt like super green screeny. Like they didn't look like they were really in the desert.
And how like fucking. How hard are the Atlanteans?
Because they can withstand the pressure from the depths of the ocean. They are super tough.
And smash into the ground and be fine.
They apparently know this, even though they don't hang out on land very much. They can just jump out of planes, whatever they want. That's how it works.
Okay.
That's comic book logic for you.
We get this myth, this legend of the trident. Mm-hmm. A la, Sword and Stone. It's been lost forever. If you find these clues, did he make the clues? Like, how does that legend start? Who gets nobody escaping there to tell him where? I guess
the king who exiled himself had to have left this stuff behind so somebody could find them.
With that said, when were those statues built?
Don't know. Don't know. Not everything makes sense in a comic movie.
But I was just thinking about his brother because we're skipping a lot. We're skipping around big time.
I thought
the idea of what he wanted.
The idea of what he wanted.
I guess in general, sorry.
I understand. In general, he was a cool enough villain. He wasn't great. I mean, I liked that he kind of resembled his mother more. So I don't even know what the actual dad looked like because did they even show him? No. I don't believe it did. But I like how they resembled his mother more, and then that Aquaman resembles kind of his dad more.
Yeah, he's got the Hawaiian blood
for the most part. But as far as his plan, I mean, I thought it was kind of, I don't know, like, since they didn't really show him, like they show Aquaman being trained by Old Boy, but they didn't really show a younger, him being
who you assume was trained by him,
being like fed all this crap from his dad, who was all about hate and the land dwellers or whatever. So you don't really see that part to really develop that character as well as I think it should have been. I think if they would have had little flashback scenes like that for him, then you would get more why he's doing what he's doing, other than he just wants to be the ruler of everything, and then which is kind of just
by any means necessary.
Yeah, you got to give us more than that if you really want us to love a character.
And like they clearly have some awesome power, like that whole washing up every ship and garbage in the ocean back on the shore.
Well, I guess like the woman, the main woman character, I forget her name.
She should have been ruler.
I mean, everybody, like, I'm assuming there was more people with her power besides just her, so they could just manipulate the water.
A buddy told me it's not common. Like it's like one every 100 Atlanteans. Like I guess from Young Justice he got this. But that she is the most skilled in it.
Okay.
Which is what seems to be one of the more effective abilities of an Atlantean. Like,
she was a waterbender, basically.
Yeah. And she fucking because what could the king do? Like even when he had the best of Aquaman, like she's just like yeah. You know, that's I don't want to jump there yet, but yeah, the king's ability, like he has this underlining plot of I need to become ruler of the entire seas before I can attack, which I guess if they're following a monarchy, not a monarchy, but a any kind of government, he wants to get it legally first before he can. So I understand that, but it's just like now I have to go talk to the scums of the ocean. The crab people are de-evolved jizz. Like why? Like clearly you seem, more advanced than them. I don't think you need his army. But what do you think of Darth Lundgren's character?
I was surprised that he was in it, actually. I was like, that's cool. And he didn't do bad. He didn't have a whole lot of lines in it, but I think he did fine. He looked cool underwater. They spent a lot on the special effects because I wonder how they did all the water effects where people are like underwater, like their hair is waved. Hair. So they spent a lot of money on this movie.
Remember 300? Like that was the first time I saw that with the Oracle chick up on the mountain. Like when she's like, that was kind of the first time I saw that, but they went a step further.
Yeah, it was like all the time. So it's like they went above and beyond. So technically, I mean, you can't fault the movie for its special effects.
No, not at all.
Except for that green screen with the desert, which was ridiculous.
That whole desert can be removed.
Yeah.
Follow the bottle. This is awesome. We're going to follow the bottle. Because, hey, so about me being king, I don't think I can do it. I'm just a blunt tool. I just charge at things and attack. Because that's Aquaman.
So you don't like the broody Aquaman? You think he should have been like? I had this conversation not too long ago. Like he should be a more. I hate to say it, but an effeminate man, like a little blonde, thinner.
No.
You think that would be more effective?
There's a middle ground there.
I think he would be better if he was like, because you don't need another Superman.
No, not at all.
And I think they made him like a Superman almost.
Just dumb.
Yeah, I think they should have made him
because Superman's not dumb.
Like more of a thinker or something, more introspective, and not just so
like the DC put out great animated movies, but there's a one where he's just like fed up. So he comes, he's king at this point. He just comes like walking out of the ocean. Cars are like driving like in the street. He's like smacks them away. He's just pissed and marches like right into the house, the congressional Congress. He's like, it stops now. And he's like not a dummy, but he's still strong, but you don't have to make a fucking blunt object comic relief, you know, who's supposed to be the main character. That's why I said she should have been king or queen. You know, she has the ability, she has the knowledge of Atlantis and apparently Earth. Because she learned pretty quickly there. Yeah. You know, like
he definitely needs to marry that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he have to step? Is he really king though? Because the queen's alive. So wouldn't she just take over until?
You would think so until he passes it on. Whatever. Unless they have a thing where the queen's just the queen, you know, and she can't really.
Well, I think that sounds right. I think she should.
Because don't like. Aren't there monarchies where like the king is it? The queen is, you have to follow her orders, and then if he dies, then she has to get another king to rule over her. Is that not?
I don't know how it works. I don't know. Really,
somebody help us.
Being in the States has dumbed us down a bit as far as monarchs go.
I'm a blown object too. I just started thinking the same things. Throw me at it and I'm going to break it. What did you think of the comedy in this? Like, I didn't think it was as outlandish as Ragnarok.
No, but I think they tried. I think they're more so. DC is more so trying to pull some comedy into their movies.
Yes,
because the Marvel movies are doing so well and they have comedy in them. Mm-hmm. I think they're trying to look at what's working, what's not working. Maybe not being so dark unless they're supposed to, and then trying to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah,
but I felt that they were just copying Marvel. I didn't really feel like the jokes were necessary in some places or meaningful.
Could have just peed on.
Like the flower thing is another scene that I hated when she eats a flower and then he eats a flower. I felt like that was just the dumbest thing that made absolutely no sense. I don't mind the occasional one-liner if they're good.
That's the only thing I thought was funny. I let that go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I like one-liners. That's fine. But some of the other stuff just wasn't, I didn't feel like it was necessary.
Agreed. There's just some, like I said, there's misplaced music, it's just, but let's get to something good here.
Okay.
Black Mantis.
Mm-hmm. Mantis or mantra?
Mantra.
I think it's mantra.
Let's go with that. BM. Well, good old BM. So I enjoyed it, almost everything about him. Did not like the way his father died. That could have been prevented, I think.
Didn't we need that though? So
yeah, everyone needs that, but I think they should have done it in a different way, I guess. Because at that point, that dude's a good swimmer. He's fast. He's strong. So they all have helmets. They weren't that far from their helmets, and knowing that they were going to use that sub later, and these are all like people who deal in the sea, pretty much their whole life. They're pirates, underwater pirates, for God's sake. Dad, you stay here. I'm going to run and get your helmet. Even if I take a little longer, a trained seaman, know how to hold your breath.
Okay,
and you were going to put that on, and then the water is going to help us lift that thing a little bit. Mm-hmm. So there's no need to be all dramatic. Nope, fucking killed myself. It's over fucking self. It's like, no, hold on, Dad. You're overreacting right now. No. Get out of here, motherfucker. We're both going to die. But no, wait. I'm telling you, I'll be right back. It's just a little overboard, in my opinion.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from now.
But yeah, his dad definitely needed to die.
It made that villain or side villain, whatever you want to call it, a little more likable though. Yeah, because of Aquaman doing that to his dad, even though they were pirates and they were killing folks too. Strangely, it made him kind of an anti-hero in a way.
Agree, yeah, he kind of had a grudge against Aquaman before that too. Though it's like,
which I didn't understand, just because he thinks he's the biggest fish in the sea, and now it's really him. Well, you're not super powered, so I don't even know why you're fighting him anyway, hand to hand with swords. Which he's got that almost impervious skin anyway.
Speaking of which, there was a scene where he gets the Atlantean tech, and then he stabs Aquaman, but then he uses his dad's knife.
He stabbed him with the Atlantean tech.
Do you think he got it in the same wound?
And I think he's just stabbed him again in the same wound with his.
Because I heard something or saw something where somebody's like, "Oh, his dad's had the mantis symbol on it, so it may have been Atlantean still as well." So his grandpa could have been. You know, I don't know how true that is. I can't wait. Oh, cannot wait. Sorry, Glass trailer. But yeah.
So, I thought the character was super likable. I thought he was better as a villain than the king.
Yes.
So, and I liked what he did. I liked the scene where he made the costume.
Yeah. I liked give him all this amazing tech.
And he's just like, I'm going to cut this stuff up, make my own thing. I don't need this. And he spray paints it. And I don't know. It still worked for me.
Yeah.
And I like how they explained why the head was big.
Yeah,
because that seems to be. I mean, even for me, I kind of complain like, "Why is his head so big?" But they give you an explanation of why. So it kind of it calms it down, so you're not so upset about it. Mm-hmm. So you're like, yeah, you know what, it makes sense now. I don't mind your big head.
I just think about that scene in Italy where he finally catches back up with them.
I thought the fight scene was pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. I think.
You shouldn't get close if you have that.
I don't understand why he tried to use a sword.
Yeah.
He whipped his sword.
Now you remember?
Yeah. It's like, I don't understand that part.
You don't want him to remember.
The whole point of getting those weapons was for you to blast them. That's what you should have been trying to do. But he decides he wants to go hand to hand with somebody who's superpowered once again, which doesn't make sense.
And knowing they didn't, now you have armor, but it's not like you get super strong with that armor, you know? But yeah, he was very interesting.
And I don't feel like he coordinated with the other soldiers that he was.
Not at all.
If they had coordinated, they could have done some damage.
Like maybe him and one other one.
They were all separate, and then just kind of doing their own thing. And one of them was just running through the houses to catch up with everybody else, and then eventually.
I was gonna say there was an Aladdin-like chase through Agrabah.
It's like what? It was a cool scene. I mean, it was an action scene, but
and then she got the wine spikes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like she should just carry water around with her.
Like, you would think. I was thinking, why didn't you do what the old girl in Avatar does, like the animated series? Yeah, a gourd full of water. And you whip that water out whenever you want to.
People don't think.
And then the little scene where she makes all the little fishies, like the fountain water, turn into fish for the little girl or whatever. That took me out of it too for a little bit. I'm just like, you guys are like trying to save the world, both above and below, the water. So why are you taking time to? I don't know.
Do you think she jumped the gun when the king was fighting Aquaman in the Circle of Fire? Yeah, he had broken his trident in half, but
I feel like she needed to get him out of there.
You think she needed to get him?
Otherwise, that was going downhill for him. He wasn't going to make it out of that.
I don't know, man. I think there wasn't anything blocking his path to swim backwards. The king was in the air going in slow motion.
Right. I don't know. I feel like that was necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it.
But so you think water makes that much difference? Like, because they were saying the king has the advantage in the water. He's been down there forever, and Aquaman trains down there. But my whole point is, now, as you pointed out before, he's lived in nothing but pressure. You know how much faster he's going to be on land? Mm-hmm. You know, like, I don't know. I think that would give him even more of an advantage. I don't know. I could be using flawed science.
I think Aquaman was slower because he wasn't used to that pressure.
But he's been in the water his whole life, since he was a teen.
He lives on the land most of the time.
Getting drunk, because he's one object, got a beer in my hand.
So, and the scene when they're in the bar and the big brutes come up behind him and he's like, "Are you the fish boy?" And he's like, "Yeah, what of it?" And he's like, "Well, can I take a picture?" He's got a pink phone. I mean, that was just ridiculous. Why? That could have been done a little more tastefully and not so silly. I don't know. Maybe they were just going for silly.
I think they were. Like you said, they're trying to lighten things up a bit. And clearly it's working. So everything I'm pointing out, I guess,
Yeah, and also don't understand why the king didn't master that same spinning of your trident technique that creates a water shield or something barrier. Right. Like he should have known that too, I would assume.
Unless Defoe's character is just like, nope, I'm only teaching this to my favorite pupil because I still believe in the queen. I don't know, but
Yeah, and it was kind of corny to watch him do that technique, and then Defoe's character is like standing there watching. He's like, his eyes are all lighting up, and his mouth is dropping open because he's like, "You mastered it!" Like he didn't know that. I guess because he watched the fight before and he got his, butt.
He wasn't losing that bad down there.
I thought he was getting. I think he got manhandled.
I need to rewatch. I don't want to rewatch. I'm going to rewatch that fight.
I'm pretty sure he was getting whipped in that. He was, yeah. The king almost kind of reminded me of Zod in a way because he's like, I was born to be this, and I've trained my whole life to be this. So there's no way you can beat me, kind of mentality.
But you would think, and I know they're underwater people, but if he has this mentality of eventually we're going to need to take over upper, the land, maybe I need to train up there too. I don't know.
Maybe he's just planning on like flooding everything and then not having to worry about it.
Yeah. Yes.
Decimating it.
Was it called?
I understood why, because he shows like all the trash falling into the ocean and all the sea life suffering from it. So it makes sense. Like it was almost kind of noble, but the way he was doing it was like not noble because he's just like scheming politically to get power. He just wanted to be the lord of everything.
Was it called Master of the Sea
or something? I don't know what it was, but I don't know. I think
did you get a Ant-Man and the Wasp feel when they found his mom?
Yeah. They were very similar moments. And
she's all dressed up in.
You kind of knew it though. As soon as she was standing there, before she took her stuff off, you're like, well, that's got to be the mom.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did enjoy their traverse down there. Through all those
fighting
fucking
those
creatures,
little mirror creatures. I don't know what. Yeah, there was a bunch of them.
Like and like, is that like the Bermuda Triangle? Like, because you got to imagine they're just gonna openly jump on boats.
Well, I doubt anything ever survives once one of those things jumps on a boat.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's ever going to know about it. But yeah, those creatures were pretty awesome. I didn't even like the crab people. I thought they were interesting looking. I didn't like so much the mermaid looking fish dude. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the daughter, who I don't know if he was a prince or a little girl. I can't tell.
I guess, fishy.
It doesn't matter. It's a fish. Fish lives matter. But I did not like the Kraken either.
I didn't like the design of the Kraken. I thought it was
almost like one of those crustacean people, but it had squid butt.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I didn't like the design. I would have preferred just a giant squid. That would be cool. I thought that would have been awesome.
And that war scene. So we're coming down to save both. We want to stop the war between the ocean and land, but we also don't want to kill everybody. This motherfucker crashes that Kraken through the ground, probably killing thousands. Then it proceeds to just start killing other people. Then he proceeds to turn the shark horses on their masters. And she's like, we need to stop with the casualties. He's like, yeah. Blown out there. Got it. King like water, Aquaman like fire. Like an Hulk level intelligence on this guy.
Right?
But it was cool seeing him put his I just use fish, to use.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do more of that.
Yeah.
But he did. I thought that's how he was going to break up the fight more so than just
smash.
That reminded me of Lord of the Rings a lot too.
Yeah.
A lot of this movie.
I think they wanted an epic battle.
A lot of this movie reminds me of other movies for some reason. I just feel like they still scenes.
Yeah, they fucking made a patchwork superhero film.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It just feels very. I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy the movie, but it didn't feel original. It didn't feel. It did the right. It did the what it was supposed to do, right? But it didn't do more than that to be thought of as like this epic, should be the best selling DC movie ever.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I know exactly why.
Okay.
Because I had a conversation with somebody and they told me that apparently people really love them some Jason.
Yeah,
Momoa.
Especially women.
The ladies love him. Like, so I think that's a lot of it. I think the ladies are going, they're like, oh, they have kids. Oh, you want to go see the Aquaman movie? I'll go with you. Sure, we'll go. So I think there's a lot of people going to see this movie just because they have the hots for Jason. And that's understandable.
I hear he's wet the whole movie. And I will be
and shirtless. And shirtless. So why would you not want to go see a movie where you get to see somebody you get the hots for shirtless and wet?
I can't take that from you.
So I think that's I'm not saying that's a huge portion of why it's doing so well, but I think it is something that's helping it.
I want to see exactly how well going to the Aquaman Rotten Tomatoes. Critics 65%. Audience 80.
Yeah.
So
it is going down more and more because it was like 70 the last time I looked.
Okay,
like 74 or something. So it's dropping.
As far as critics,
critics. Yeah. So it's going down as more and more people are seeing it.
I think. I mean, it's a fun popcorn movie. Yeah, I'm not gonna deny that.
There's nothing wrong with it if you just want to go to a movie and have a good time. If you want to pick apart, the story, it's gonna lessen the movie because there's some holes in it that don't make any sense. But it is made up, make believe. So you got to give it a little bit of slack.
But the source material
is there
is legit.
But are they really using that anymore?
No.
No. When they make a movie, I don't know why they don't. I don't know if it's because they don't feel like they could just translate it straight from the comic book and it would work.
With their animated stuff.
They did with The Watchmen, and I feel, for the most part, they did cut out a major part that people complained about.
Spaghetti monster.
But, not just that. There's there's a sub-story in there that they cut out with that pirate ship. I mean, remember the little kid that was sitting at the newspaper stand and he was reading? They cut that out. Yes.
Okay, yeah, right.
But outside of that, I mean, that was pretty much straight from the pages. Yeah. So it does work. And I thought that movie was very successful to me.
That's one of my favorite comic book movies that gets left off a lot of people's lists.
Yeah. So I don't understand why they don't do that more often, but I understand they want to do something different when they do make the movie because they don't want to just do a direct translation.
But they work so well when they do because people want to see that lifted off the page. Mm-hmm. That's the draw to comic book movies anyway. People want to see those things come to life and do what they, what was it? Christopher Reeve? No. But yeah, I think the Christopher Reeve Superman, you will believe a man can fly. Perfect tagline because that's what people wanted. They saw him flying around on the pages all that time. Yeah, now I want to see him, fucking do it in real life.
I think a lot of it is because they're trying to make things more. Because I don't really consider myself a critic, but we do criticize stuff fairly hard sometimes, and I think they realize that, and they're like, well, we can't put this in there because that's so unbelievable. People are going to just tear us apart for it, like the whole squid thing in The Watchmen. The way they did the movie actually does kind of make more sense than the squid thing, and it wasn't perfect, but I thought it made more sense. Like I could rationalize that and be like, that makes sense. The squid thing, I would have been like, that's crazy, but okay, I'll go with it because it's comic book movie. But yeah,
Thanos hit Iron Man with the moon, and I was still in. Give it to
me. So that might be why. I don't know.
Do a little quick comparison here. Yes, it outsold these, but I gotta ask anyway: Aquaman or Wonder Woman?
Which movie is better?
Yeah, which you prefer more?
I think Wonder Woman is a better movie.
We agreed there. Aquaman, Justice League.
I actually enjoyed Justice League. I know it's not the perfect movie, but there was a lot of scenes in there that I gushed at more so than Aquaman. I think Aquaman's a fine standalone, but I think Justice League wins.
Yep, agreed. I think with time it could have been better. I think they should have held off a bit.
All this DC timing should have been better.
Yeah. Aquaman or Batman v Superman?
I probably would have to say, despite the flaws that I see in Aquaman, I probably enjoyed Aquaman more so than Batman versus Superman. Even though the more I watch Batman versus Superman, my initial watch of that was disappointment. But I've grown to enjoy that one more. So
I still want that Snyder cut. I want to see what that fucker took out.
With multiple watches, I think it gets better as if you don't pump it up before you see it.
Yeah.
But I think Aquaman was probably more enjoyable, even though it's like you said, it's like a patchwork of other of films and ideas and movies and stuff. So
So was Alien, I guess. That's what they say. Yeah, you know, so
still
not to the point where it's so noticeable. Mm-hmm.
But this one's just super noticeable.
Yeah.
And it might be because we've seen so many movies and we're just at that age where I saw a post on YouTube. I was looking at a trailer and somebody got an angry post because you see those all the time. He's like, I'm assuming this person must be old as hell because he's like, I can't, stand how we keep recycling the same story over and over again. I hate all the, mixing of like changing from one race to another race just to appease people and and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I kind of get where he's coming from because he's such a no timer that he's used to that thing. But the whole thing you're complaining about is what you're asking for. You don't want the same old thing over and over again, and they're giving it to you. So try to keep an open mind there.
Like Miles Morales.
Yeah, perfect. That was, the whole point of him existing was Marvel was saying you don't have to be
anybody can be under that mask.
Yeah, you don't have to be a young white guy to be Spider-Man. You can be a hero and be anybody. You can be Black, Hispanic,
a woman, or
exactly anybody. Little kid. He's
Nicolas
a kid.
Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Exactly. You can be a duck.
You can be or a fucking pig.
Anything you want. Howard the Duck. I won't bring him up.
So here comes the question of the day. Go watch or not?
It is a fun movie. There's no reason not to watch it. If you're a woman and you have the hots for Jason, then you absolutely go watch it because you're going to get an eye full. If you're just a comic book fan, it's a comic book movie. Why wouldn't you want to go see it? Yeah. I'd go watch it again, but I'm not saying it's the greatest comic book movie, but I don't think it's the best DC movie, but
you don't know.
It is fun. So I'll give it that. It's worth a watch. Kevin?
I probably won't see it in theaters again.
Okay.
I'll take that back because I would watch it in IMAX. Mm-hmm. IMAX makes everything better. But yeah, I guess for the same reason Robert said, like, I can't shit on what I've been waiting for forever.
We're getting what we've been wanting for years. They're just throwing it at us like almost too much. So almost too much, but that's okay. We'll take it.
Yeah. And one of the writers for GoWatchAMovie.com put up a review. It's on the site now. Check that out, of Aquaman. Yeah, that's Aquaman. We made it out of that one. Submerged down there for a while. Where you can find us? Very simple for you now. GoWatchAMovie.com, the one-stop shop for all things entertainment. The site is progressively growing and evolving and getting better, but it has links to all of our social media, the YouTube page, and all the trailers I post are put on that website as well. So you can watch all of that there. There's interviews with people. There's all the fun stuff you expect from a movie website. And I think that'll be all for this episode. It was awesome.
Yes. Awesome.
I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Go watch a movie.